Every year, the construction industry accounts for nearly 40% of global carbon emissions, making it the largest industrial contributor to climate change. At the same time, over 2 billion tons of agricultural waste are burnt or discarded every year, releasing carbon and air pollution because there is no scalable market that assigns it value. These aren't separate problems, they're two ends of the same broken system. We manufacture high-emission interior materials that are brittle, crack under stress, and often require replacement, while simultaneously destroying biomass that could have been structural feedstock. Microcracking and panel breakage drive rework, waste, and embodied carbon that never delivers functional value. With nearly 70% of the world projected to live in cities by 2050, demand for interior walls and partitions will surge. Within that inefficiency lies a massive, uncontested opportunity.
Hi, my name is Aadhirai Mathan, and I'm here to introduce M2Bricks, mineralized mycelium biostone, grown from agricultural waste and engineered for the next generation of sustainable interiors.
The global interior construction materials market exceeds $800 billion annually, with non-load-bearing wall systems growing at 5 to 7% per year. In India, the AAC block segment alone is worth 3.62 billion rupees today, growing at 9.1% per year. Yet today's competition is a red ocean. Gypsum board, AAC blocks, EPS panels, and mineral wool compete on cost per square meter, compressive strength, and installation speed. They're optimized for price, not durability evolution. Sustainability and embodied carbon reduction are secondary, and developers want greener materials but not at 2 to 3 times the cost. M2 blocks shift the basis of competition. Here's how it works. In M2 blocks, a fungus first grows through chopped rice or wheat straw, turning it into a light, foamy core that insulates sound and heat. After that, we embed bacteria into the composite. They slowly lay down a thin layer of limestone inside and around the outer part of the block, creating a tough crust. When a crack forms and water seeps in, the dormant bacteria activate and precipitate calcium carbonate crystals to seal the crack on their own, in under 32 hours.
And that is our blue ocean shift. We eliminate the heat and cement dependency. Instead of fragile biomaterials, we densify them through bacterial calcification. The result is a self-strengthening, prefab-ready partition system built from waste.
To unlock this blue ocean, we activate 3 tiers of non-customers. First, stress mainstream contractors who use AAC and gypsum but face ESG mandates and rework losses. They switch if we match price and outperform in durability. Second, sustainability-driven architects and eco-hospitality brands who have opted out of synthetic partitions entirely but are waiting for a regenerative yet practical solution. And third, agro-waste stakeholders and regional climate actors who never saw themselves as construction players but can become material suppliers in a new waste-to-building economy. To supply and scale, we'll launch through B2B supply to interior contractors in dense urban markets, integrating directly into existing prefab workflows. Production begins with modular grow units that convert local straw into finished blocks, keeping capital light and logistics short. As projects validate performance, we secure developer contracts and green building certifications. Long-term, we license our mineralization process to regional manufacturers, scaling through distributed production rather than centralized mega factories. The heart of M2 blocks is in the recipe. It uses ordinary farm waste, a known fungus, and proven bacteria in a simple, repeatable way to grow a block instead of firing one. It feels familiar to builders, slots into existing prefab wall systems, and quietly cuts carbon and waste behind the scenes. We've already identified the exact components through lab tests and monitoring growth cycles. Recent patent reviews show no prior art on this combination for modular interior blocks. M2 blocks naturally aligns with UNSG, LEED, and BREEAM's new embodied carbon and circularity priorities, and would be eligible for climate and sustainability-focused grants as we develop it further.
Ultimately, cities are humanity's largest footprint on Earth, and right now every wall we build deepens that footprint. M2 blocks are here to reverse that, to show that growth does not have to mean extraction, that waste can become structure, and that the materials that shape our cities can regenerate the systems that they once damaged. The future of construction will not be built from what we mine, it will be grown from what we discard, and M2 blocks are here to build that future. Thank you.